How to set up and use the bank feeds in BQE's Core. First and foremost, from our dashboard, we're going to go down here to Accounting and click on Bank Feeds. The next thing we need to do, of course, is add an account. That's right here, this blue button that says Add Account. And from here, we're going to search for our bank. If your bank happens to be one of the more popular ones, you'll find it right here. I'm going to use Wells Fargo as my example. It's going to take a few minutes to find the bank accounts that are available in your bank feed, so be patient. You're going to see accounts appear and disappear and then reappear. Wait until it's completely done and you see this check mark here at the top right. Once you see that check mark, then of course you can select which account you would like to connect. So we'll click Done. And then over here, we're going to actually choose in the drop-down which bank account that it found at your financial institution and which bank account within Core you'd like to match that to. So you select it from the drop-down and choose Connect Securely. Once it finishes connecting, you'll see the account or accounts, if you selected more than one, listed right here. Now it's time to go in and match a transaction. Now, one thing I'm going to encourage you to do when you get to this point, and in general when you're going in back to the bank feed, updating and matching transactions, is duplicate your tab. And the reason is very simple. What this will allow you to do while you're in the matching area is you're going to run into situations, especially when you first start, where you don't have the name that you need in the appropriate list. So you're going to want to add that. So be prepared for that. Have the extra tab open because I'm going to show you in a second how this is going to help tremendously. So let's say I want to add in this Starbucks transaction as meals and entertainment, right? So let's see if I have a meals account in here. I do have a meals account in here, but in the event that I didn't, what you would now do is go to the extra tab, go to your accounting, right? We'd go to the chart of accounts, and we'd create the new account right here in this tab so that then we could come back to this tab and add it in. Now we'll need a payee, and I'm guessing I don't have a Starbucks as a payee, so now you'll see an example of exactly what I'm talking about. So if I go to lists, and remember we're using custom labels to describe names lists, right? So if I go to contacts, actually, sorry, not lists, we have employees, consultants, and clients. Really, consultants would be anybody that we pay for something. Typically, we're thinking of those people as being consultants here. But in a case like this, where we pay Starbucks for coffee, we're still going to use consultants because there's no better sort of fit in terms of which list you would want to put them on. So we're going to create new. And for the company, I'll put Starbucks. And some people will just generally put like food establishments or restaurant, I should say generally, generically, instead of putting the specific institution's name, which is fine. That's just not how I prefer to do it. I like to be able to trace back exactly whom I spent the money with, and I like to be able to do so very quickly and easily. So let's click Save. And once this is saved, now I can come back here and find Starbucks. Notice I didn't need to refresh the page. It's smart enough to be able to update based on the fact that something already updated. And I point that out because not all cloud-based software is that smart. A lot of times you would have to refresh your browser tab in order for it to recognize the update that was just made. And then we'll click Add. And it's that simple. I mean, you've seen one, you know how to do them all pretty much. You just go through transaction by transaction and make sure that it gets assigned to the right account and the right payee, and if you're using them, the right classes, right? So I don't know if you noticed that. You probably did. The class dropdown is also right here in case you need to assign that. Notice also you can add things in as either an account or an item. So if you wanted to run a cost through an item because you're tracking that item to a budget, let's say, then be aware that you can also add things in as items, and that lets you job cost it right here as well. You can choose which engagement it went with and which item, of course, it goes to, and now you'd have an employee in case it's an employee-related expense of some sort, and of course, you can assign the class. That, my friends, is everything you need to know about how to set up and use bank feeds in BQE Core. As always, I hope you learned something here and had some fun along the way. I hope you're having an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the web.